There's a lot to love when it comes to Gears 5's multiplayer. Fan favorite game modes like Guardian and Arms Race return, while a couple of new ones are introduced. Arcade is a new mode that provides players with simple but fun character loadouts, each with their own perks and weapons. Horde 4.0 is an updated version to the beloved PvE experience that adds interesting features which encourage replayability. Escape is a new offering that supports 3 players. The goal is to try to survive a swarm hive with limited resources and time. Tour of Duty is a free battle pass-like model where gamers can earn character and weapon skins as well as other cosmetics for completing challenges. All of these factors and more make it easy to understand why the Coalition touted Gears 5 to be the biggest game in the franchise.
Starting with Versus, you have the Quick Play playlist, which includes Unranked, Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, Escalation, Arms Race, Dodgeball, and Guardian. All beloved game modes play exceptionally well with the new weapons and hazardous maps. The Claw is a machine gun that shreds up close and personal, while the Breaker Hammer can kill enemies through cover. Trust me, it's not as OP as it sounds. These power weapons create new ways to confront enemies in Gears, all for the better. Another factor that changes the way you play Gears multiplayer are the hazards found on the maps. Exhibit has a hallway in the middle where a laser beam can kill anybody who isn't taking cover. Icebound's frozen floors can be destroyed to slow and eventually kill anybody who tries to cross it. The variety keeps matches interesting in a way previous entries haven't been able to accomplish. Plus, the map design is just fantastic. Each one has multiple fighting areas where players can maneuver across multiple levels. This makes fighting for power weapons even more exciting and intense. Ranked versions of these modes are still Nasher heavy, but that's nothing new for fans of the series. It is worth noting that while all the ranked versions are separate from each other, every mode in Quick Play is in the same playlist, except for Arcade and Player vs AI. This means that fans will be finding themselves in Team Deathmatch and King of the Hill more often than Escalation, Dodgeball, or Guardian. Voting is allowed at the end of the match, but the load times are significantly slower due to the matchmaker searching for people to join the game in progress. Ultimately, players are better off exiting and finding a new game entirely, but that doesn't guarantee you'll get the same map and mode you want. The latest iteration of Horde improves on many of the concepts found in Gears of War 4 with some added changes here and there. The days of running out of power seem to be over thanks to power taps. You can capture and defend them throughout matches to collect power after every wave. This feature doesn't make the match too easy though, because it takes time to capture and extract power. There's also a new fortification item called the Forge, where you can even sell weapons you aren't using for power. Gears 5 ties in the class system to the characters themselves. For example, you can no longer play JD as a support since he is now strictly an offensive character. The change makes sense since all the characters have passive and ultimate abilities now. Most of the abilities are helpful in allowing many different types of team comps. Plus, the ultimates are huge game changers and are simply fun to activate. There's still a card system, but it's less complicated here. The ability to skip breaks in between waves is a small but welcome feature. It even gives bonus XP as well. Difficulties got a revision too in the form of modifiers. They range from increasing enemies' health and damage to ending the game upon an entire team wipe. There are a ton of modifiers that will incentivize players to continue playing Horde. The variety of boss battles is also much bigger than Gears of War 4. There are even smaller bosses that can appear every 5th wave. The biggest drawback to the mode is how items in the Fabricator are limited for everyone except engineers. Being able to only build a fence and a decoy as a lone Marcus Phoenix, for example, is beyond frustrating. The Coalition is aiming for a more team-based experience, which is understandable, but this change is unfortunate for smaller groups or people who want to try and play Horde by themselves. On a more positive note, Jack is an absolute blast to play. His kit is not only one of the best in the game, but he is a perfect character for newcomers and veterans alike. Escape was introduced to lukewarm reception at its E3 debut. Although it is the smallest mode Gears 5 has to offer, it doesn't disappoint. The escape maps change weekly to prevent repetition. There's also a custom map creator that allows players to create and share their maps with the community. Similar to Horde and Versus, each character starts off with their own weapons and abilities. The enemies you fight increase as you are escaping from the hive and obtain more weapons and ammo. Supplies are scarce in the early stage of the mode, so it's even harder when multiple modifiers are turned on. Even on its easier difficulty settings, escape is challenging, especially if a person leaves during a match. The idea of only having a team of 3 sounds limiting, but the mode is perfect for smaller groups who may not have time for Horde or are uninterested in Versus. The waves of enemies firing at you on screen is chaotic, but intensely satisfying. Other than the repetitive, unskippable cutscene in the beginning of every match, there is little to hate here. Tour of Duty is a great way to unlock items for free, but there are too many marks and banners to unlock rather than skins and emotes. Hopefully the items will improve in the following seasons. The Coalition has outdone themselves here and have given fans little reason to think they won't improve Tour of Duty over time. The best part is that players are given 3 daily challenges along with achievements that can be completed over time. These challenges can be anything from killing a certain amount of enemies to getting gun-specific kills, winning in specific game modes a certain amount of times, and much more. Gears 5 is successful in implementing new content to an already entertaining formula. New characters, weapons, bosses, and modes are all welcome additions to the franchise. Every new feature feels like it belongs in the series. The attention to detail in every mode is clear, as no one area feels lacking in content. Despite some minor issues, Gears 5's multiplayer is amazing. I give Gears 5's multiplayer a 9 out of 10. For more reviews, reveals, and more, follow me at JTReviewsPlus on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Share your thoughts on Gears 5 with me in the comments, and thank you for watching.
Command, be advised, we are ready to kick some ass.
I'm down! Shit! I'm down!